Okay. All right. I think I am live now. I'm not sure. So let me just check out a second. I don't think I am. All right. It's connected. Oh, you know what? One second. See if I can turn this off. Okay, guys. I just need you to let me know if you can hear me because the internet at this place is and all that, and I don't know if you can hear me. So just let me know if you can hear me, and then we'll go from there. Okay. All right. Okay. One moment. Okay, here we go. Okay. All right. So, yes, currently here in Cancun, Mexico. And turn this down a little bit here. Okay. Yeah. And we have an event at 7. So I said, let me just squeeze in a little, uh, a little time here for some stuff I just posted. Right. First of all, DJ and I would really like to thank the Humphreys, Tracy and Lou Humphreys, who have been an excellent host to their marriage mechanics. It has been a success. In fact, the sessions ended yesterday with super dynamic speakers. It was just totally awesome. Apostle Didi, she was the first speaker. I mean, awesome information, extremely valuable information for those who are single and those who want to remain single and how to maintain their singleness. I strongly suggest, of course, they're going to be posting all of that later on the Marriage Mechanics website. And that's another thing. Before I go any further, I would strongly suggest that you guys join the Marriage Mechanics on YouTube and Facebook. And let me be very clear, it is not just for married people. In fact, this particular retreat is for singles, right? For singles. So they cater to the married and the singles. So Tracy and Lou Humphreys are doing an excellent, a marvelous job. DJ and I promote and sponsor them 10 billion%. What they're doing is changing many lives. The testimonies that are coming from what they're doing is phenomenal. And we 1 million% definitely support it. The Taylors, Mikhail and Nicole. Listen, this couple, I love them. I'm not gonna lie to you. They're awesome. Their material. What I love about this couple, I mean, I don't even have to hear them speak, but just watching their behavior, they work in harmony with each other. I watch Mikhail all the time, how he treats Nicole. And what it says to me is this man isn't just here teaching like some regular teacher or preacher. This man is actually living what he preaches. So that I'm very impressed by them. I remember when we were in Jamaica, and I remember that topic, bringing out the king and the queen in each other. And I was so impressed. I was so impressed by their teaching. And of course, they really hit it home and they did their teaching here in Cancun. I really, truly enjoyed it. The Rosses, listen, I got to sit up for this one. The Rosses, Sherilyn and Joel Ross. Now, these people are extremely, just like everybody else, they're very dear to us. But Joel, who was the first speaker of the Rosses, I mean, Joel's presentation was, to say phenomenal, would truly be an understatement. I'm going to be totally honest with you. To call it phenomenal I wouldn't be serving him any justice at all. I think it was extremely practical, very much digestible. I mean, someone who would have had a head injury, quote unquote, would be able to understand what he was saying. I think peppered or salted with his humor, it was just outstanding. I love how him and his wife Sherilyn just piggyback and pick up off one another. Sherilyn came on and she really put the icing on the cake of what Joel did. I mean, it was a treat to listen to. Deidre and I have been battling with whatever's happening here. I don't know what it is. I don't know if to call it a flu or whatever, but it was like just different cycles of everything just going crazy with us. So we weren't able to make it to the Humphreys teaching yesterday morning. Our session was yesterday evening, so we had to get some rest because I was in complete pain in my body and so on, as well as teaching. Nevertheless, I understood that it was phenomenal, and a lot of what they taught about, uh, we having no idea of what they taught, came within some points that we would have made Deidre and I lined up with their teaching. So clearly, the Holy Spirit was most definitely present here. Deidre came on yesterday, man. Listen, I was so impressed with her. I was so impressed. Deidre took her time, and she really began to dissect the scriptures and really bring it to a real life situation. Every speaker, I could personally say, spoke, and this is why they were all great. They spoke from a personal perspective, what their encounters were, and they began to tie in scriptures with what their encounters were. And what I glean or pulled away from that is that everyone is realizing that nothing that we're doing, whether it's good or bad, it's happening by accident. Whether we're aware of it or not, it's all encompassing a law, a rule that we're violating or that we're moving in harmony with to produce good for us at the end. So this was very, 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 very informative for me, and I can't wait to actually watch the Humphreys video when they post it online. So I really want you guys to support the Humphreys, man. These people, I mean, to see how hard that they work to get this thing, and they don't have to do it. This just it. I mean, it isn't like they're making a profit from this. It isn't like they're none of that. And this is so phenomenal. So I really thank God for their heart. I really thank God for what they're doing. I really thank God for using them to take their own personal life and the ups and downs that they went through. They would have told their stories on many occasions where they at one point literally separated from each other. And of course, it was devastating for both parties, but genuine love, as usual, love from the heart, like I would have spoken about yesterday, will always put you together, bring you back together. Why? Because you see, love from the heart, it doesn't keep record of wrongdoing. It doesn't hold in grudges. It doesn't spite and be vindictive. And even if those thoughts come to your mind, not to say that they won't, but genuine love wouldn't allow you to retain it. You're quick to forgive, to resume your love for that party that you claim uh, to love. Okay, so that's very important. So with that said, I just want to briefly kind of touch on what I was posted earlier. In fact, let me pull it up here. What I posted earlier, and you all know my posts always draw controversy. And like I always say, my posts draw controversy because what it does is while I'm not speaking to anyone in particular, those who it applies to will be the ones that will speak out, particularly from a negative perspective, even though I didn't mean it that way. So I'm not here to clarify anything. I just want to be clear on that. I'm not here to clarify. What I'm here, though, to do is to expand. And the purpose of the expansion of what I'm about to say based on my posting is to help those who are not married as yet. They are the ones that I'm interested in. And like I've been telling you, I wish before I started out on the marriage journey, I wish before I started out on the giving up being single, that I had all of these tools in place, which would have caused me to make better decisions in life. People who always fuss and challenge and always want to debate, clearly they're not learning because they seek a need to debate and not a need to understand what is being said. Nobody is out for you. Nobody is out to get you. Nobody is out to uh, do whatever you think they're trying to do to you. It is all helpful information from people who would have experienced these things. And the good thing about that is they didn't come out bitter and telling you to be and giving you better advice. And I think that's how people ought to look at it. Now, if someone was advising me and they were advising me from a better perspective, oh no, I'm not listening to you. No, 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 no. But you're telling me that even though you went through that, you were able to forgive, and not just forgive, but you were able to extract where you were wrong, not just the other party, where you were wrong, where you played a part in this not uh, being successful. So these are people that I would want to listen to, and these are people that I would encourage you to listen to. So my first post that I posted this afternoon was, I said this, I said, and I was dealing with controlling, and of course, like my topic would have said here, controllers create puppets. That's right, controllers create puppets. So my first post read like this: most women that have the potential to achieve marriage will not. If they do, the marriage will be short lived because of their controlling spirits. As I said before, like with all of my posts, if you are bitter, if you are hurt, the only thing you could read into that post is something negative. So what you would do now is come and attack me. So I'm not going to go through that today. I mean, hopefully you'll be healed and then you'll see it for what it is. I'm saying to women as well as men, but I see this more in women, and I'm speaking from a counselor's perspective. I'm not just pulling stuff out of the air and acting like some King Solomon who knows a lot. I don't know it all. What I do know and what I do share is based on not just personal experience, but the experiences of others, the thousands of others that I would have counseled. So I think it would be a little bit wise to listen to what I have to offer. Again, you don't have to, okay? So most women that I meet, okay, especially when their relationships aren't working out well, and like with all parties, they would always come and give me their side of the story. But because I'm so familiar with the controlling spirit, even without them telling me that they're controllers, I could tell based on their behavior, based on their conversation. For example, a lady would come to me and tell me how she feels that her husband is controlled by his mother, right? So I say, okay, well, explain to me, what do you mean by that? Well, whenever his mother needs something, uh, he would always run to her, now watch this, as if I'm not his wife. I'm his wife, and I come first, and I should be there. So I'm watching the attitude, I'm watching the tone, I'm watching the behavior. But still, I don't come to an assessment. What I do see, though, is red flags leading to what I presume so far that it could be. So I would say, well, okay, well, what would you prefer? I mean, while I would be the first to tell you that the day that you guys got married, the priorities shift. And you are number one. Let's be clear here. You are number one as well as he is number one in your life. And you guys still love your parents, but they would become secondary as relates to the relationship. She would further go on to say, well, even with his friends, he just goes out. And so I said, when you say goes out with his friends, what exactly? Be more specific. And this is how controllers are. Controllers, for you to take their side, they become extremely vague because the idea is to paint a picture that would favor them. I want you to listen to me now because a lot of you are controllers and don't even realize it. A lot of you are dictating to your relationship, dictating to your children, dictating to people because you've done it for so long and nobody has checked you on it or were consistent with checking you on it. To you it's normal. So I'm not here to demean you. I'm not here to downgrade you. Hopefully, I hope that you would see yourself in what I'm saying, and what I'm saying would be a mirror to you and cause you to check yourself. Because if you don't do that now and you're single, well, one of two things are going to happen. Either you're going to be single for the rest of your life, or if you do get married, the marriage will be short-lived, because no man in his right mind that I am aware of would entertain such behavior from a woman if he called himself a man. This have nothing to do with being chauvinistic. This have nothing to do with being this have everything to do with order, everything to do with respect, because these are the nuts and bolts that keep a relationship together. And anybody who try to refute these things, then you're a controller. Because controllers abide by their own rules. They're not interested in what I'm telling you right now. So back to the lady now. So they go back and they say all this stuff. Oh, he's always with his friends and he doesn't do this. I say, okay, so what do you do? Do you sit down? Do you express yourself to him in a calm manner? Do you wait for the right opportunity to do it? I need you to explain. In fact, this is my words. Can you just calm down just a little? Because all of these are red flags to me. The real problem here, and everything that this person is telling me about their partner, the truth is that's who they are. So this is why I say to people, and I did it yesterday when I started off my teaching. I started off my teaching yesterday by saying to all the singles, I said, I need you to tell me two most important things, the two most important things to you that you would like to see in your partner or your future prospect. So I allowed everybody, I said, take your time, just whatever it is, whatever it is. So when I was done with that, I said, okay, I got one more question for you. The two most important things that you just said, it's mandatory that your partner have. Do you have it in you? See, everything changes now because you see, everybody has this great expectation when it comes to marriage. Everybody wants to come to an already prepared table. Forget what I'm dealing with in my life. Forget my past trauma. Forget I was raped as a child. Forget uh, my mom and dad were spiteful and mean and cheated on each other, and that had a great impact. We're going to cover all of that up. Okay, we're going to put some makeup and some eyeliner over that stuff. And now I'm going to come to the table as if I'm the perfect one, making super demands on you. And whenever you don't line up to my demands, I'm going to tell your friends, I'm going to tell the pastor, I'm going to tell the counselor that you are very difficult to deal with and that you are controlling. And what they mean by controlling is that you wouldn't allow them to control you. I'm trying to help you. That's all I'm trying to do. So at the end of the day, it would be in the singles person's best interest to listen to sound advice. And that is, when you're pointing the finger at the other party, look at you. They are not perfect. You are not perfect. If you are looking for a perfect person and a perfect relationship, then ask God to hurry up take your life so you could go be a perfectionist, and that's heaven. Okay? Say, God, bring it to an end for me right now because I need to be with the perfect God, because they're none here. Okay? Everybody fighting their devils. Everybody challenging some area of their life. No one is perfect. The closest you're going to get to perfection in anyone or anything is compromising with one another. Meaning that even though I don't like what you do, and I'm willing to let that go if you're willing to accept this, what I do over here, blah, blah, blah. So that's how it works. So if you think you're going to find that person who's just super perfect in every area. You're beyond delusional. All right. So with women, and I started off with women because, of course, in my post I address men and women. But this particular post here, I was dealing with women because, again, I see a lot of it, and they're all telling their side of the story, and they all want to control the consular, and many of them I check immediately because, again, you won't go play that game with me. I've been through this over and repeatedly with people, and you need to calm down and you need to grab a hold of yourself. You're very much out of control. And that's just it. If I had to define a controller is someone who has no control, but they think they do while they're exerting control on others. You don't. How is it that you could go and pick out your clothes, pick out your shoes, get the kind of haircut you want or the hairstyle you want, pick out your jewelry, you could eat to wherever you want to eat, drive wherever you want to drive? How is it that you could have the free will to do these things, but you want to impose your will on somebody else? And then when they refuse to go with what you want, then what is the next sign of a controller? The spirit of offense. Who am I talking to? The minute they say, well, I don't want to wear it, but I was only saying, I was just making a suggestion. Okay, so you made a suggestion and I refuse. Why you have a tone? Why do you have an attitude? What is the next stage, Kevin? Because they went from trying to control you, you didn't accept the control, they became spiteful. Sorry, they became offended. So what happens next? Well, they become vindictive. It's a protocol. And they don't even realize that it's a demonic spiritual protocol. So they're going to become vindictive now. So the things that they used to do to you, for you before, by default, no, you never had to ask for it, but are getting shut down. Or even if it is done, it's going to be done in a halfway manner. Because the controller needs to let you understand you need to submit to me. And when you don't submit, okay, all of the benefits that come from me are coming to an immediate halt right here, right now. So this is when you now realize unfortunately, if you're married to this person, you're married to an infant, you're married to a child, you're married to a person who has no idea of conflict resolution, who do not know how to conduct a mature, responsible relationship. They don't. And this is what you're stuck with because you wouldn't have listened to advice like what I'm giving you right now. When you would have poked fun at what I'm saying or tried to make a debate out of it instead of looking at life from that perspective and to see if this is you that I'm speaking about. So I strongly suggest you as a single woman or even a man, check your. I wish they had like a controller's thermometer where you could actually stick in your mouth and to see the percentage of controlling uh, powers you have. that would be that would be so much easier for everyone, you know. So yeah, so I said most women that have the potential to achieve marriage, they will not. They're beautiful people. They will make excellent wives if that controlling spirit was cut away from them. But no matter how educated they are, no matter how beautiful they are, no matter how whatever they are, men, no real man, I'm telling you, no responsible, real leader man is going to submit to that. You could twist this however you choose to. You could turn this thing off and go about your business, but I guarantee you, if you decide to go contrary to what I'm telling you, years ahead, while you may not come back and tell me this, you will see for yourself because it was never designed by God to be that way. God never called women to lead men in a relationship that is. No, that's the man job. That's why it is Christ, the man, then the woman. That's the order. I don't care who says otherwise. That's the way it operates. There's no two ways about it. So wherever, my friend, you see a controlling spirit from a man or a woman, you listen to me carefully here. You better check that immediately. You better. And many people find it to be cute. Oh, he's so jealous. He's so jealous. Jealous? Jealous, that's what you label it as? What I always tell you, my mother tell me, a little could tell you what a lot is gonna be like. That little so-called jealousy you confusing, which is really control, there's a lot more where that came from. One of the one of the red flags to determine a controller. This is so funny. A controller, because they're so hell bent on controlling, when they first start to date you, they want to do everything for you. Oh, they'll pay for the bill. For dinner? Oh, yeah, man. Your car break down? I'll take care of that. Everything they want to do. See, because in their mind, and this is how I know it's a sickness. In their mind, they're literally investing in you. Now, you have no knowledge of this. You have no knowledge of this. So everything they're going to be quick. In fact, in some cases, they're going to feel somewhat offended when you don't take them up on their offer or you continue to dismiss their offers. Because to them, they're not getting the opportunity to sink their hooks in you, to claim ownership of you later. Now, let me bring this one for you. Okay, so you're going up with a controller, all right? And they're doing exactly what I'm telling you they're doing. They're paying for everything. They take you on trips and buying you stuff from all over the place. They're doing all this stuff for you, right? Guess what? And this is when you see the real them. When disagreement day come. Oh yeah, when disagreement. And in this disagreement, when they feel they're not getting the upper controlling hand, watch how quickly you're going to be reminded specifically of everything they've ever done for you. Well, I can need those keys back. That car that I got, I need that back, please. Okay? Okay, saying that you're going to be ungrateful. So watch how things change. You never begged for it. In fact, you refused as much as you possibly could. You only accepted because you felt bad that you were turning them down for so long in terms of their extending kindness. Watch how quickly they everything. I need those same shoes, those same pretty shoes that could go. They have no shame. They have none of that. So it shows you when they feel their investment hasn't brought them the return that they anticipated, then there's going to be a recall on what was invested. I am trying to help somebody because if you're with this person right now and you're not married, you better thank sweet Jesus you are listening to someone like me, okay? Who willing to tell you these things before you get into this? See, because once you say I do, the dynamics change entirely. See, everybody can have their opinion now. Everybody can have their say and their opinion on all this garbage. I am speaking to you from real life experience. I'm speaking to you from the thousands of people I've counseled before. And this is how I know it's a spiritual because no matter who I speak to from wherever part of this world, it's the same devil because the behavioral patterns are the exact same. So it's clear. A controller invests in their victims. There's no love there. There's none of that. Now, I'll take it a step further. There are different levels of control. And the highest level of control is narcissism. I've been this road, I am very familiar with it, and I know. A narcissist will strip you of anything that remotely resembles you having control, you being the victim. They must be in full control of your life, complete. That's the apex of control. All I can tell you, my friend, run for your life. Run for your life. All right? So let me just quickly run through these last two because, like I said, we have a function at 7 and I want to be on time. So the next post that I put up there, I said, men who fail in engaging their natural ability to lead in relationships will by default empower the controlling spirit in their significant other. Well, this is all biblical, this is all truth. Ahab and Jezebel is a perfect example of it. Ahab was the king of Israel. He was the man in charge. The only person he ought to have been answering to is God the Father. That's it. He ran the show there. However, Ahab, whose name has become synonymous with disabled or weak leadership, okay, or passive leadership, the Ahab spirit allows their authority and power to be hijacked by the controller, which we know to be the Jezebel spirit. They're one and the same. And she, or whoever they may be, they operate behind the scenes. They pull the strings. So this is why I came up with my topic, and that is controllers create puppets. So Ahab he was a king by paper, he was a king by title, but the reality was he was a puppet. Whatever Jezebel, the controller, told him to do, he did. That's the bottom line. Women, men, you do not want to be with a person like this. You do not want to be with a person when they cannot have their way. They pout their mouths. They become childish. They become vindictive and spiteful. They could go weeks and months without speaking to you and passing you in the house as if you don't exist. But why are they doing this, Kevin? They're doing this to bring you to submission. They're doing this to bring you under their control. And because they're professionals at this, they have the wherewithal to endure until you submit. And the more they see that you won't submit, the worse their antics and tactics become. So even if it requires them seeing somebody else, having sex with somebody else, because they're going to ensure that you know or find out, and then they're going to blame you in the end. Well, if this would have never happened if you did what I told you to do. Wow. Wow. To stop you from having sex. Let me see if I get this straight. To stop you from having sex with other people. So in order for you to be committed to this relationship, to this marriage, and so that you would not have sex with other people, I must conform to your every wish and your every demand. Wow. Man, that's powerful. That's powerful. Mm. So I must not have no will of my own. I must have no opinions. I must say, yes, sir, massa. So, man, let me tell you this right now, right? The worst thing you could ever do, okay, and when I said, and I want to be specific here because people love to read into my stuff and tell lies. Of course, my topic here is a controlling spirit. So when I use the term women, when I use the term men, I'm talking about those who possess the controlling spirit. Not every woman, not every man. And I know folks, be careful why you have to explain yourself. Y'all don't know, See, y'all just see one side of this, Y'all just see me. If y'all read the stuff what I got to deal with, I'm telling you. I'm telling you. So anyway, when it comes to the controllers men, you are called to lead. That is not an option. That is nothing you have to go to school for. You are a leader. Now, it's up to you to activate the leadership skills that are naturally built into you. Now, here is where the problem will come in. If you choose not to do that, then the enemy, who has been monitoring your relationship for quite a while now, has already started the process of activating the illegal controlling spirit in your partner. Okay? Okay, Kevin, so give me some more signs of how this thing normally does happen. Disrespect. That's how it always starts that way. Disrespect. Disrespect. And how does this disrespect? Name calling. Lazy, good for nothing, lousy, all of these things that you are hearing coming from the other parties, but or even your mouth when you're talking to your partner, let me tell you what you're doing. You ever see, uh, let's use a pants, men's pants, right? And you ever see in the seat of that pants how it's stitched, or female pants? Let's use a denim jeans. How heavily stitched it is to secure it from ever splitting, right? Whenever you introduce disrespect such as name calling, it's like you getting a pair of extremely sharp scissors and those neatly stitched seams, you're clipping one by one, one by one, one by one, until it eventually tears apart. Now, you don't see this in the beginning, and it is not designed for you to see that way in the beginning, because in the beginning, the way that the devil does it is that the person who is emitting all of this name calling and foolishness, he's bringing to the person doing it a sense of gratification. Remember what we're talking about now. We're talking about the man who refused to take authority in his relationship. And I'm not talking about bullying no woman. I'm not talking about talking down to her. I'm talking about showing this woman that you are a leader, not in bullying her, but leading this family, providing for this family, whatever the case may be. This is what I'm talking about. So watch this now. So she will become comfortable. She begin to curse you out and say bad things. And you, sir, you are enabling her by sitting there using the excuse, oh, I'm just going to ignore her. I'm not paying any attention to her. No. So the devil is going to push her more and more. So now she's going to come to you while you're watching TV, ignoring her, and shoving you in your hair, or throwing something on you, or doing a bunch of nonsense. And you would be the first one to go there and say, oh, Mr. Counselor, you know, this woman don't let me rest. What I always tell you, everybody come with their side of the story. Nobody's going to tell you the exact events. Nobody. Everyone is going to paint a picture to favor them. And if you're not one with experience, I'm not talking about experience with education, because education, you could go to school to get it. I'm talking about real life experiences. If you don't have that, it's going to be very difficult to peel back the layers of this person, to see that this person is truly a deceiver and trying to deceive you, to contort you to their will. They're controlling you and you don't even know, Mr. Counselor, Miss Counselor. I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to help you. So men, you need to take authority. You ain't got to scream. You ain't got to cuss. You ain't got to raise your voice. There's a saying that my grandmother used to say, and I love it. I have such an appreciation for it today. And it says that action speak louder than words. I don't have to tell you what changes can take place. I just can do what I need to do. See, because when you keep saying to people, you say right there, I can show you, they're not going to take you serious. No, man. Well, first of all, they're doing what they're doing to you because they don't take you serious. Huh? Simple. So men, when their backs are pushed against the wall, when they realize that they have become a failure in this regard to the relationship, they normally retaliate with the F word and cussing and raising the voice and breaking up stuff. Excuse me, buddy, that ain't changing nothing. That may frighten her for a little while. Yeah, but she can come back at you again. See, because the devil has already gave her a place of comfort in doing it. Yeah. Ain't no more sex for you, Mr. Cusser. So you can be frustrated. But again, you created this demon, sir. You did that by not putting your foot down. And when I say putting your foot down, let me be clear. That I'm not promoting no form of violence or any foolishness. I'm talking about as a man resolving matters from a mature biblical perspective. You don't have to raise your voice, you know. In fact, here is what I would do. This is the greatest control you could ever have in a relationship. Whenever you see a person, lay the rules down. Whenever you see them getting loud, tell them right there. The minute you start getting loud, this conversation coming to an end. The minute you come and you getting out of hand and using obscenity, this is over. The reason why you have to do that, because it cannot produce good after that. Because remember, if when they begin to cuss and carry on and you say nothing, remember there's a voice speaking to them. Okay, it's comfortable to do it. Continue. And if you sit back and don't check it, they will continue doing it. So you lay the rules down. We're going to sit down and have a mature conversation. Okay? Now, there's no need to argue. There's no need to raise voices. There's no need to use obscenity. The minute that happens, we're going to stop it right there and resume another time. Now, that's going to be difficult for some people because this is their method of control. That is the method of intimidation by getting, and especially when you could show them, look here, you are wrong here. Let me give you an example, because women might be able to relate more to this. And again, I only could speak from the multitude of experiences I have by meeting with people. Okay, so a wife would have a situation with her husband, all right? She would say that her husband stays out late all the time, right? And he's always out with the boys, and anytime it's time to go, she want to go out with him, he always finds an excuse, right? However, whenever she brings this up to him, listen, watch the manipulation. So she say, honey, listen, let's sit down and talk for a second. Okay, I don't stop you from going out with your friends. In fact, they're your friends, all right? But remember, you're married, and all I want from you is for us to spend some time just for us. And every time it seems as if I want us to spend time together, it's always this, you see that? It's the same thing. I pay all the bills around here. And who does pay the mortgage? Who does pay for your car note? So you see the deflection, right? You see, right? You all see what I said, right? Where did paying the car bills come in? Where did paying the rent or the mortgage come? What does that have to do? What does that have to do with this person's issue of you spending time with her? So what is your point, Kevin? Whenever you set out to resolve a situation, make it extremely clear from the beginning. We are sticking to the narrative. Do not bring nobody else in here. I don't want to hear what happened in Cuba. I don't want to hear what Mama them did. I don't want to hear what the neighbor across the road did. I don't want to hear any of that. If the narrative is about this pen, don't tell me who built this pen in 1962. Don't tell me that this was right yellow and not green. I don't, because all of that is deflection. All of that is pulling away from what we're trying to resolve. In fact, you're adding ingredients that have nothing to do with baking this cake. So don't tell me, in fact, buddy, you're supposed to do those things. So don't come around here, but all you do? You mean all you do? She do stuff too. You won't hear her bringing that in here. You won't hear her say all the sex items be given you. You won't hear her say that, right? So what you bringing this garbage in here for? So you have to stick to the narrative. But again, these are controlling tactics. This is to pull you away from your narrative and bring you under the umbrella of the narrative that they have created. I see it all the time. I trying to help you, man. I trying to help you. While you finding every reason to find fault with my posts, try to extract the wisdom. But I ain't talking about those who've been married before and bitter and so on. I'm talking about those who are not married. Listen to my advice. So my final post was, any woman who desires a peaceful and contented life, this was so funny when I wrote this, should stay as far away. I wanted to say far, far, far away, but Facebook wouldn't allow me to keep the colored back screen with such a long word. Okay, so any woman who desires a peaceful and contented life should stay as far away as possible from a man with a controlling spirit. Women, please, please, and men too, please, please, please hear me. Please, I am begging you, 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 I am begging you. Stay far away from them. Let me tell you the primary reason. A controlling man or woman doesn't see you as a human. They see you as a pet. A pet that you keep inside a little doghouse over there. A pet that you dog walk. Meaning you have no say. The dog, you have no brain. You don't have no sense. I am your master. I decide to dog walk you today. No, you stay in there today. You stay there in your little kettle or whatever. That's how they see you. Yeah. They see you as a pet. That's what you are to them. There's no such thing as love and affection. No, 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 no. You are just something I jumped on to release my tension. And once that happened, you go right back in your little doghouse right over there until I tell you to come back home. When I wake up, I need to meet my slippers at my bed here to the right, okay, with my robe. And you need to be up before me with my breakfast cooked already. That's how you treat pets. You tell pets what to do. You take a bone and you throw it in the yard and tell the pet, go get it and bring it back to you. That's how they see you. It's no relationship. No relate, far from it. And guess what? Those who are here now who criticize my post, you could relate to what I said. And guess what? If you don't change your way of thinking, whatever relationship you get in will produce the exact same results that have you so bitter right now. I love the scripture in Romans 12, verse 2. And it says, be ye transformed. How? By the renewing of your mind. If you don't want to encounter the same pain again, there has to be a transformation, not with the person, with you. Well, Kevin, I wasn't the one who treated me this way, and no. But you were the one that picked him. You were the one that married her. So what was going on up here that caused you not be able to see all of these things you're encountering now? I can't hear you now. All I hear is crickets now, because you was blaming him all along. You was blaming her all along. You never ever put the spotlight on you. You call them stupid, you call them ignorant, you call them fool, you call them abusers and controllers. Why did you pick a controller? Why did you pick an abuser? The world said it takes two to tango. I agree. I totally agree there. I don't normally agree with the world, but in this case, I'll make an exception. So until you stop playing the victim and look at yourself, you will always repeat the same mistake over and over because you see yourself as a victim. That's it. In my past relationships where I have failed miserably, I don't see myself as a victim. I see myself now in hindsight as one who was uneducated, one who was uninformed. Hence, I make these videos for you so that you will be informed, so that you will be empowered. And the only way you could be empowered is through honest, genuine, godly information, not information from some hurt person who have yet to heal or who don't want to be healed, who sees everything as an attack, who sees every statement as something to just retaliate on because they're hurt. And I'm not mad with them, No, honestly, because I know where that's coming from, I'm not upset with them. I just hope they would see through these little nuggets. You need to check yourself. You're taking a whole heap of baggage of pain and sorrow and grief of the past. And whoever brother you hook up with, whoever sister you hook up with, I feel sorry for them in advance. I can prophesy what that relationship is going to be like. And in this case, I don't even need to hear from the Holy Spirit. I can tell you through countless real life experiences by others what's going to pan out here. You have yet to cleanse you. You have yet to renew your mind. The Bible says again in Romans 12 and 2. It says, be transformed by the renewing of your mind so that now you can prove what is that good and acceptable choice or will of God for your life. So now it explains to you why you picked that person who was a narcissist. Why you picked that cheat man or that cheat woman, whoever you label them to be. because you're part of the problem. Your choices are flawed. Your choices your choices are flawed because you have a messed up mindset. You need to get to the word. Stop condemning. Stop judging. Stop seeing everything as an attack. Go and educate yourself. So I'll end with this. Knowledge is going to be the keynote speaker to a better life. Okay? For the singles as well as the married. Again, the majority of your situations are the result of not being informed, or you've been taking advice from people that are damaged. The worst advice you could ever get is from someone who never healed. Excuse me. They never heal. They never heal. And so therefore they see every woman as wicked and nasty and a whore. And they see every man as no good and just want to use women for sex. So you will know these people because every time you hear them, all men want is sex. Sex, 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 sex. Or him, he would be, women are no good. You can't trust them. My God, they sleeping with your friend and your family. No, no, no. That happened to you. That isn't a general thing. Everybody don't go around and sleep with people's family. So don't take your incident, your isolated incident. When I say isolated, while it happened to other people, don't take that and then paint a whole canvas with that. What you should do, and this is sound advice, where did I go wrong? How was I able to pick someone like this? The minute you start looking at life from that perspective, things can change for you. In fact, you'll make better choices. Because you know what you're going to say next time? Now, the last time I picked this person, I was looking externally. Let me take a peek to see how they really handle things in life. Let me look more internally. Because if you use the same method to capture the second person the way you did the first, do you really believe it's going to yield different results? Well, if that's what you think, you're more delusional than I thought. You need help. In fact, you need more help than the fella you have to run from or the woman you have to run from. I'm telling you. So anyway, folks, that's it for me. I have to go now. But again, I'm coming to you live from Cancun, Mexico. It's been an excellent, excellent time here, man. Again, Tracy, Lou, the Taylors, the Rosses, Apostle Denise, all the facility, everybody. DJ and I are just super, super thankful. And like I say, if you haven't already, please go to Marriage Mechanics. That's Marriage, Mechenix. Marriage Mechanics. Sign up on YouTube, sign up on Facebook because they're going to be posting all of the videos. I'm going to be posting they're going to also post the photos and so on. So for those that could not make it, I'm telling you, you're going to want to attend the next event because it was really, really awesome. We ended as usual with the baptism that we did last night. And even though I was feeling a little under the weather, I still went along with it. But it was so, 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 so beautiful. Okay, so until next time, God bless you, and you have a beautiful, beautiful Sunday afternoon.